Hey guys, this is Robert NES 816, and today I'm going to be looking at the NES Dogbone controller and comparing it to the original NES controller. So getting right into it, as far as build quality goes, the original controller is not as comfortable as this Dogbone controller. Build quality wise, both controllers are the same. They do have some differences, however, in build quality and feel. One of those differences would be that the Dogbone controller has this sort of textured finish to it that the original controller does not have. Going around back of the controller, you can see it does have a different screw pattern featuring 5 screws instead of 6. And it also has this sort of rounded backside to it, which does feel good in the hand. The back of the controller also has that textured finish to it as well. This controller is part number NES 039, and these controllers are harder to find, and these usually will sell for about $20 to $25. So it's up to you if you want to spend that much money. However, you can always go to garage sales or whatever and try to hunt one of these down and pick them up for usually pretty cheap. Or if you go to like a flea market or whatever where the person doesn't really know what he's looking at, or really care about what he's selling. He just has stuff he's trying to get rid of. So that would be ideal way to pick up one of these, or in a trade. But yeah, as far as button feel goes, these are they feel very similar to a Super Nintendo controller as far as the button feels are concerned. They have like a mushy tactile feel to it, is the best I can describe it. The D-pad is the biggest improvement, I think, over the original controller because it's bigger and it pretty much feels exactly like a Super Nintendo D-pad, which I love. Start and select buttons feel like a Game Boy, or feel like they came from a Game Boy. A and B buttons, again, feel like they're from a Super Nintendo. Comparing it to the original controller, these controllers have a smooth plastic finish on the front and back. These are number NES 004. And getting back to here. So these controllers do feel good in the hand as well. They feel solid. These are both very well made controllers. Build quality wise, there really is no difference between this one and the Dogbone. As far as the buttons feel, that's where I actually kind of like the original controllers better. If you find one of these in very good condition, such as this one, then they're going to have a very clicky, tactile feel to them, which I like a lot. The A and B buttons have a very nice clicky feel to them, and the start and select buttons do too. The thing that I really like about the original NES controllers is that they have these concaved A and B buttons, and they feel really good in the hand. As far as cord length goes, both controllers have the same length of cord. If you have the AV Famicom, however, then these controllers will have shorter cords. The Dogbone controller will have a shorter cord. But as far as overall size goes, they are both pretty much the same size. The Dogbone just has a slightly larger D-pad, and pretty much that's about it. So as far as responsiveness goes, both of these controllers feel just as responsive. They both feel just as good in the hand. You can see when I hold this controller, at least how I prefer to hold it, it feels pretty much just the same as, I don't know, it feels fine to me. It just, there's no issue with me as far as the shape of the controller. It's not uncomfortable at all. And the A and B buttons do kind of fall right into my hand when I hold it in this manner. The Dogbone, however, I feel myself, toggling between A and B like this with this controller. But as far as holding it goes, there's a bunch of different ways that you can hold this controller, and it will feel just fine in your hands. So, I mean, I guess it's just personal preference though. But a lot of people do like these controllers because they are more rounded and I guess more ergonomically designed. So that's just it though, but I like both of them anyway, it doesn't really matter. This controller right here really is like an icon as far as design goes, but there's nothing wrong with going with either one. So, is the Dogbone controller worth the $20 asking price? If you find one in good shape, yes. If you find one in not so good condition and the guy's still asking, or the person or whatever, still asking $20 for it, then chew them down to like 10 bucks or 15 or whatever, because these are harder to come by, but if it's in crappy condition, then in no way is it worth 20 bucks. It's just my opinion. I mean, you have to figure that it's 20 years old, or actually older than that now, 20 years old, and B, it's an NES controller. I mean, if you really, really need one, then just pick up one of these things for like 10 bucks. These are a dime a dozen, and it's extremely easy to find one that is in very good condition. So you can see this one right here, no markings on it whatsoever, just the plastic on it's nice and clean, no dents or whatever, no real yellowing on it. And the back of this one is in really nice shape too. The cord on this controller is in really good condition too, and I actually have 9 more controllers just like this one that are in just as good a condition as this one, so, whatever. They're very easy to come by in good shape. They're also very easy to come by when they look like this. But this one was saved for a later video. So, again though, is it worth it to spend 20 bucks on a Dogbone? That's up to you. If this shape really bothers you, this boxy shape, then by all means go for one. But like I said, if you can, go for one at a garage sale or whatever, and you'd be better off. Save your money whenever you can when collecting for this stuff. So, that was my short little comparison between the Dogbone and the original NES controller. Tell me what you guys think, and thanks for watching.